If you give me 30 seconds to answer each, that will take me 7 minutes. Question 1. Why didn't the police support the End Bad Government protest when the protest was meant for all Nigerians? Prof has helped to answer that, but I will have to make additions to the answer provided by Prof. My response to this will be in 3 parts. Number 1 is that, of course, Prof said it, our responsibility is not to take part in protest, but to manage protest. 2 is that the intelligence at the disposal of the police. Anyone who knows what we know about this protest will not come out to protest. We have intelligence at our disposal that some agents of destabilization are ready to use the hardship protest to destabilize our country. I won't be able to share the details yet because we are still on the trail of these individuals. Some of them are already out of the country. They immediately escaped. Some of them are even foreigners. One of them was traced to the Labour House the other day, and I was just wondering why the noise about the raid on Labour House when the police didn't raid Labour House. We raided only a shop that the individual was using as a front, and we have been monitoring his activities. He was very active in the Sudan crisis. And he's in Nigeria mobilizing people to destabilize our country. We traced him to that shop, and our detectives raided his shop. We recovered valuable documents. So there was no need for the noise about the raid of Labour House. We didn't raid Labour House. The NLC Secretariat was not our focus. Secondly, is our experience with previous protests. I'll always make reference to the NSAS protest, which turned violent. It started initially as peaceful, but any protest that is mobilized on the social media has the potential to be violent. Because when you are mobilizing on social media, you are mobilizing the whole population, including the criminals. So the idea of the protest being hijacked, I don't believe that protest that is mobilized on the social media is hijacked. Hijacked by who? By the same people that were mobilized for the protest. So our experience in previous protests would not make the police to want to take part in any protest that we know is going to be violent. The third part is when you are saying you want a peaceful protest and you tagged that protest, you said you want a 10 days peaceful protest, and you tagged that protest 10 days of rage. Of course, we know that you are not being sincere with the word peaceful. Question 2. Yeah, the person who asked this question stated that engagement would solve so many problems, and he asked, what are we doing to engage the youth going forward? Very good question. What are we doing? One of it is what we are doing right now. The aim of this summit, organized by the Nigerian police in collaboration with UNESCO, is to have sincere engagement with the Nigerian youth. We want to build trust, and we want cooperation, collaboration with the Nigerian youth. Question 3, that's the item 7 question. That question is meant for the first PRO. he will answer this properly. Question 4. The person who asked the question stated that, okay, this is just a suggestion. He suggested that we should have post-protest dialogue in all the geopolitical zones. That is quite noted. We will consider it. Question 5 was about, okay, the person who asked the question raised issues about insincerity about the protest, that we call them faceless, even when they came out to address press conference. But before the protest, we made it clear that the police will be out to protect peaceful protesters. People who want to come out for peaceful protest will be out to protect them. We also gave our guidelines. We asked them to come forward. They should meet their commissioners of police, indicate their intention to stage a peaceful protest. And the commissioner of police in the state will make adequate arrangement for their protection. It is not enough for you to address press conference. What is required of you is to follow our guidelines. Meet the commissioner of police in your state, make your intention known, and the commissioner of police will make adequate arrangement for your protection. You did not inform us that you wanted to make a press conference. So next time, please endeavor to meet the commissioner of police. We have reasons why we insist that you must meet your commissioner of police and let him know the details of what you want to do. It is for your own personal protection. Because we have the intelligence we have, you don't know. If you are planning for peaceful protest, and we also know that some other groups want to take advantage of your peaceful protest to cause violence, to unleash violence on the population. If you have gone to discuss with your commissioner of police, he's in a very good position, the right, to guide you. If we ask you to stay in a particular location for your peaceful protest, it is because we also know that some people will be coming out to unleash violence. A peaceful protest on the streets cannot go side by side with violent protest. You won't be able to differentiate. That's why we insist that you should stay at a particular location. If you know you are for peaceful protest, then we'll make arrangement for your protection. But if you insist you must go on the streets with those people who want to stage violent protest, we won't be able to differentiate between the two groups. 6, what is police doing about insecurity to allow farmers to go back to the farm? Very good question. We are doing a lot. In the Northeast, we have started farm patrol to give confidence back to farmers to return to farm. Mr. President is very, very concerned about it, and we are doing our best. But let me also add that the security landscape in Nigeria is complex and diverse, marked with a range of challenges, requiring multidimensional responses. We have challenges in security. There is also economic challenges. There is political challenges. We have environmental challenges. All these challenges are interconnected. To solve these challenges, we need to understand their interconnectedness. You can't solve one challenge and leave the others. It's not going to work. So we need to solve these challenges simultaneously. And that's why you see agencies of government, departments of government working at the same time, working together. Solving these challenges simultaneously is not as easy as solving simultaneous equation. A lot is required. We need enormous resources. It requires focused leadership. And when I say focused leadership, I mean leadership at all levels. We don't start looking at leadership only at the center. We are all leaders at our own different levels. We must all be focused. It also requires committed citizens. Our citizens must show patriotism. Our citizens must show responsibility. We must embrace our duties and responsibilities to our country. We have responsibilities to obey the law. If we obey the law, there will be no corruption. We have responsibilities to cooperate with the police, assist law enforcement agencies. Let us embrace our responsibilities as citizens. So solving our challenges requires that all of us are involved. Question 9. What can the police do to engage secondary school students because the secondary schools is becoming a fighter ground for cultism? Very good question. In the Nigerian police as of today, we have recently established a unit called POCACOV. POCACOV means Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Vices. That unit is headed by a senior police officer. Our target is students in secondary school. So we are doing a lot to discourage cultism, and we are starting at the level of the secondary school students. Question 10. What are we doing about bad eggs in the police? You said that a lot of bad eggs are in the police. I accept that we have bad eggs, but the bad eggs are everywhere. They are not only in the police. Whatever you see in Nigeria today, in the police today, is a reflection of what Nigeria is. It is called Nigerian Police Force, not Ghana Police Force, not Republic of Benin Police Force. Members of the force are Nigerians. So a society gets the kind of police it deserves. That notwithstanding, we are fishing out the bad eggs because we are responsible leaders. We are fishing out the bad eggs in our midst, and we are punishing them. We are discouraging bad behavior. By punishing bad behavior, and we encourage good behavior by reinforcing those good behavior. Question 11. Efforts to protect those who come out to protest and fight for better Nigeria. I think that's what I got from the lady who was, that's what I managed to get from the lady who was sobbing and talking at the same time. We have stated it severally that it is the right of citizens to have peaceful assembly and to protest. We recognize that right. And we will always protect the rights of our citizens. We have introduced a course in our police colleges and training schools on the protection and promotion of human rights. For you to become a policeman today, you must have gone through that course. We are focusing on protection of human rights. And that is why we always emphasize that we recognize your rights to peaceful assembly and to protest. But that right is right to peace. It is not right to violent protest. No sane community, society, would tolerate violent protest in the name of a right. 12, use of volunteers in community policing. We're already doing that. A few years ago, the federal government approved community policing strategies for Nigeria. And the approach in that community policing strategy is to also engage special constabulary. These special constabulary are volunteers. We embrace volunteers. Well, that may be true in some places, but I think it's not a general thing. Like in my own community, we have a lot of Igbos. We have mixed tribe in my community. And anytime there is crisis, nobody tells any tribe to leave. And I know that that is general in Nigeria. But in few cases where you have that, I will advise that you report to the authorities concerned. Question 14, which is the last question, on standardizing our information sharing. That is basic. We have a standard in sharing information. We share information on the need-to-know basis. We share with all agencies who should know about whatever information that we have. Time, thank you. To cooperate with the police and share information with the police. If you see something, you say something. All our officers have been trained to protect their informants. The DPOs, from the level of DPOs upward, they have a responsibility to protect their informants. Gone are the days when people are afraid to give information to the police for fear that they might be exposed. If you have fear that you'll be exposed, please meet the officer in charge of the station or go directly to the Commissioner of Police in your state and share whatever information you have with him. And I can assure you that you'll be protected. Thank you
so much, sir. He's truly a mathematician, exactly.
We will be taking this engagement to the geopolitical zone. We accept that we have challenges in Nigeria. The challenges are enormous, but they are not insurmountable. We just need the collaboration of everyone. We need the youth, we need the leaders, we need every one of us to be focused. I like to make reference to the story of China. China has made tremendous progress over the years, but there was a time that China was like us, struggling, going through hardship. There was the story of a Sherman Mao that emerged in China, and who told all the Chinese, let all Chinese go hungry until we're able to produce our own food. Let us all go naked until we're able to produce our own clothes. The Chinese went through hardship, serious hardship. But at the end of the day, they became great. They emerged strong. China today is a great nation. I believe that we are on our way, our own journey to greatness. this subsidy we are paying is going to improve very short forever. Let us end subsidy. Subsidy is gone. Let us not come out and say that this is bad government. We must end this bad government. If we end the bad government, where are we transiting to? A worse government. I said in my, when I was answering one of the questions, that some people who came out mobilizing for the protest didn't mean well for Nigeria. What they wanted was to destabilize us and multiply our hardship. We must not fall to their antics. We must be careful next time. When they are calling us for protest, we must look at them very well. Do they really mean well, or they just wanted to use us as instruments to destabilize our own country? So let us be careful in just following people calling for protests and protests. Let us hold them where we are down. So we thank God. They did succeed this time, but we also know that they are not resting. They are going to come back again, and we have to be careful with